Good evening and welcome to the March 27th edition of News 22. I'm Haley Wolverton.
And I'm Erin Fitzsimons.
It's been almost 20 days since Malaysia Flight 370 has disappeared. Though the families of the 239 families have been notified of their loved ones' deaths, a question remains. What happened to Flight 370? In the search for the answers, a Thai satellite has detected over 300 floating items in the southern Indian Ocean off the coast of Perth, Australia. It is uncertain whether the debris belongs to the missing Boeing 777, but crews from 6 countries, including the United States, are still searching.
Well, let's hope he's loving it. An 18-year-old from Norway now has a McDonald's receipt tattooed on his right arm. Stan Ytterdal of Lorenskog said his friends wanted to punish him for being, quote, too active with the ladies, unquote. His friends gave him the choice of either getting a Barbie tattooed on his butt or his fast food purchase on his arm. The tattoo, which takes up most of his arm, shows a recent purchase that included a soda, cheeseburger, and a non-stop flurry. The tattoo parlor also offered the ink to the receipt that the Ytterdal for the first tattoo on his left arm for free, and he has agreed.
The family of Sunny Kale, an 8-year-old from Timberlake, Virginia, recently received a letter from her school in which the principal informed them that Timberlake Christian School is not the best place for Sunny's future education because of her dress and behavior were not feminine enough. The letter emphasized that Sunny, who sports jeans, sneakers, and a short haircut, could be denied continued enrollment in the school. According to TCH guidelines, enrollment at the Bible-based institution could be refused to students who live in, condone, or support sexual immorality, or in other words, practices homosexual lifestyle or alternative gender identity. Questions posed from Sunny's grandparents and guardians have asked, how do you label or discriminate against a child that's 8 years old? How do you tell a child who wants to wear pants and a shirt and go play in the mud that no, she can't, she has to wear a pink bow and you have to grow out your hair? The Thompsons are sticking with their decision and reportedly do not plan on re-enrolling their granddaughter at Timberlake Christian School.
Officials say 2 firefighters were killed this afternoon by a fast-moving, wind-driven fire that ripped through a Boston brownstone after they were trapped in the basement. Deputy Fire Chief Joseph Finn says that he has never seen a fire travel so fast and escalate so quickly. He says firefighters rescued people from the upper floors of the multi-unit building in the Back Bay neighborhood Wednesday afternoon. The 2 firefighters went inside the building and then into the basement where it appears the fire started. They called a mayday 2 or 3 minutes after entering the building, but couldn't be saved. No civilians were hurt. All of us here at News 22 send prayers to the families affected by this tragedy.
A woman whom 27 years ago was a newborn baby had been left abandoned in a Burger King bathroom, says she found her birth mother just 3 weeks after launching a worldwide search. Catherine DePrill, also known as the infamous Burger King baby, said she felt pure joy when she met her biological mother for the first time this past Monday. DePrill began her quest on March 2nd by posting on her Facebook page a photo in which she held up a sign that said, "Looking for my birth mother. She abandoned me in the Burger King bathroom only hours old. Please help me find her by sharing my post." The photo was shared more than 30,000 times by Facebook users around the world, and DePrill's story landed in numerous media outlets, which led the daughter and mother to meet. DePrill said her mother expressed regret during their meeting. DePrill said she forgave her 110% absolutely.
This past Wednesday, Sacred Heart University had a hazmat situation causing school officials to cancel evening classes. They say a minor reaction to sulfuric acid and nitric acids occurred in a chemistry lab about 2:45 p.m. Fairfield Fire Assistant Chief Chris Stacy stated that the first and second floors of the wing were evacuated just as precaution. No injuries were reported, but all classes in that wing after 5 p.m. were canceled.
It was a frantic afternoon on Tuesday at the Bradley home in Meriden after 90-year-old William Radson went reported missing from the nursing home. A silver alert was issued by the police, but thankfully he was found safe, but not anywhere you would think. Sergeant Darren McKay of the Meriden Police said that police at Mohegan Sun Casino called them at about 3:30 in the morning, saying that Radson was there and safe. Apparently he owns a car and is able to leave the nursing home when he chooses, so hey, what's wrong with a little gambling?
It looks like President Barack Obama's speech changed things for the better when the House of Representatives, in back-to-back votes Wednesday, March 26, 2014, passed the bill to raise minimum wage by $10.10 by 2017. Quote, "I am proud that Connecticut is once again a leader on an issue of national importance. Increasing minimum wage is not just good for workers, it's also good for business, said Malloy. The National Employment Law Project said Connecticut is the first state to pass a $10.10 minimum wage bill, and similar proposals are being considered in Maryland, Massachusetts, Hawaii, and other states. President Barack Obama said in a statement Wednesday, "Today, the Connecticut legislature took an important step towards raising the state minimum wage to $10.10 an hour and giving more Connecticut workers the raise they deserve. Way to go, Connecticut, on making the first move towards a very important issue."
And we'll be back with this week's editorial after this short break.
Danse, balance, suis la cadence, on lève bien tes hanches au bal du dimanche. Danse, que la fête commence, dans ma belle robe blanche, je suis ton chou, ton
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning. 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash? 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Welcome back, and now for this week's editorial.
Good evening, Eastern Connecticut. I'm Ash Wolk with this week's editorial. I have one word that I've been doing a lot of thinking about lately: money. I won't get into my student loan university cost situation because I went in on that last week. But isn't it a pretty crazy concept that little pieces of paper control our very beings? The way I was raised, I was taught that money is merely something to keep us alive, give us what we need and what we want, but I was always taught that money is not the most important possession to have. Don't worry, I'm not going to get all fruity on you guys, but I can't help but frown at all the superficiality that surrounds youth and encroaches on my morals and way of life. Let's face it, our generation is obsessed with money. Fame, popping bottles in the club, any type of celebrity, reality TV, which in reality is probably scripted, throwing bills, it seems everyone is all about the Benjamins. And I mean, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, young people wanting to make money and have a life for themselves. And I know it's not just my generation that's monetarily infatuated. It's always been about money. And before money, it was about who had the most berries or animal skins. Regardless of what form, why is it that we all want more than the other guy? Isn't it enough to have enough? I feel like though the world has always been controlled by money, being rich has never been so glorified as it is now, because it's everywhere. On TV and the shows that we watch, those reality shows, like Housewives of Beverly Hills and The Kardashians and My Super Sweet 16, shows that subtly or not so subtly show off these people's money. And because it's being broadcast on television, people, especially young people, are going to want to be those people, to have what those people have. Because who doesn't want a life of fortune and fame, right? Ugh, gag me. We turn on the radio and money is everywhere again, all over song lyrics, and because there's a cool beat and a catchy hook, we all become suckers to the music that represents superficiality and the ultimate shallowness. These messages get implanted into our subconscious, and after a while, the line between wrong and acceptable becomes blurred. Because that's the real question, isn't it? Flaunting what you've got may not be wrong, but is it right? For TV22, I'm Ash Wolk. Have a great night.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
When you earn your GED diploma, the barriers in your life fall. Take the first step and get free GED information in your area at 1-877-38-YOUR-GED or yourged.org. Earn your GED diploma and begin your brighter future.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
On March 28th at 7 p.m. in the Francis E. Geisler Gymnasium, ECSU's Arts and Lecture Series will present 64th Secretary of State of the U.S., Madeleine Albright. She has served as the U.S. Permanent Representative to the United Nations and was also president of the Center for National Policy. She will speak about economy and security in the 21st century. Tickets are free to all students, and students can receive Dean Cup points. Be sure to reserve your seats at the Student Center information desks.
ECSU and UConn's campuses have stumbled upon a bit of fame after being chosen to be featured in an upcoming independent film called House of Dust. It's based on a true story from a New York Times article about an old abandoned state mental hospital in Oregon. So if you're looking for a night of horror, come on down to see the House of Dust on March 29th at 9:30 p.m. and get a sneak peek of the famous ECSU and UConn campuses featured in this independent film.
ECSU has been recognized as a top college in the state for students who are interested in military service by the College Database on online directory of U.S. colleges. The nonprofit organization provides free information about national and local education to students. The website set out to find the post-secondary institutions in Connecticut that offered an annual tuition of less than $20,000 a year and offered at least 2 ROTC programs. Eastern ranks first in Connecticut with an extremely affordable $4,124 annual tuition rate while offering Army and Air Force ROTC programs.
The Hunger Hurts food drive will be taking place on campus Monday, March 31st and Tuesday, April 1st as part of an ongoing campaign to stop hunger. Project coordinator Nicole McBride and her team of student volunteers will be going door to door in each of the residence halls to collect non-perishable items. All donations will be given to a Covenant Soup Kitchen to help hunger in our community. Collection centers are also located in Gelsey Young in the communication office now until April 5th. If you wish to volunteer, please contact Nicole directly at mcbride@myeasternct.edu.
Ever want to do something for a good cause? Help out those going through a tough time? Well, now is your chance. On April 6th, people will have their chance to donate their hair to Beautiful Lengths. Their goal is to make free wigs for cancer patients. The event will take place in the Betty Tipton Room and will be from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., so come on down and donate your hair for a great cause. For more information, email arist@myeasternct.edu.
Seniors, with graduation just around the corner, what better way is there to celebrate than spend a day in Mohegan Sun? Tickets are only $10 and include transportation to and from the casino, along with a meal voucher to be used at any of the restaurants at Mohegan. To attend, you must be a graduating senior eligible to walk at the commencement and be at least 21 years of age with a valid form of identification. This event is on April 11th from 6 p.m. to midnight. For further questions, contact Casey Bandera.
With the end of the semester just around the corner, stress begins to build. Campus Activity Board wants you to take a step back from the stress and enjoy Eastern Spring Fest. On April 25th from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the Sports Center parking lot, come enjoy rides such as the Ferris wheel and the Scrambler, eat fried dough, or play carnival games for a chance to win prizes. This is an event you don't want to miss.
Has this cold weather been getting you down lately? If so, you're in luck. What better way is there to get you into warmer weather mode than listening to reggae bands and drinking smoothies? On April 4th from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m., Eastern's Campus Activity Board will be hosting a music lounge featuring reggae music. This event is free for all students and will be in the Student Senate in the Betty Tipton Room.
And we'll be back with this week's sports update after this short break.
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple. Just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun?
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
And we're back with this week's sports.
I'm Tyler Smith for this week's sports. Eastern women's lacrosse team has gotten off to a slow start, but has shown improvement. In the first 3 games, they were averaging only 3 goals a game. However, over the past 4, they have brought that average up to 9 goals a game. This past Tuesday, the Lady Warriors played Bridgewater State at home and fell 18-8. But they did show flashes of a potential championship caliber team with good defense and a solid offensive attack early in the second half when they were only down by 3. They will face their first in-conference opponent this Saturday as Rhode Island College comes to town. Rhode Island College has typically struggled over the years, and this should be a great opportunity for the Warriors to rebound and start 1-0 in the LEC. They'll rally behind leading scorers Aaron Kahn, Ashley Wolk, and Paige Schneider. Good luck on Saturday, Warriors. Eastern's men's lacrosse team is now back to 500 on the year. The Warriors are 4-4 on the season and are heading into conference play this Saturday at the University of Southern Maine. The Warriors took on the University of New England at home last Thursday and they won 11-8. However, they played Stevens College the following Tuesday on the road and lost 14-7. For the men, it's been senior preseason All-American pick Mike Devine and senior Mike Jordan, who have been dominating in the scoring with 15 points each. Senior Tyler Fresen also leads the team in assists, and Eastern will look to these 3 star players to help the team win their first conference game of the season. With the first weekend of the NCAA Men's March Madness Tournament in the books, there were a bevel of upsets and dramatic finishes. North Dakota State, a 12 seed, defeated the Oklahoma Sooners 80-75 to earn their first victory in tournament history. Stephen F. Austin, also a 12 seed, pulled off an upset after defeating Virginia Commonwealth 77-75 in overtime. Mercer, a 14 seed out of the Atlantic Sun Conference, beat the Duke Blue Devils 78-71. The Dayton Flyers, the 11 seed out of the South region, have reached the Sweet 16. Dayton had 2 huge wins last weekend after beating not only Ohio State, but the Syracuse Orangemen as well. They will face off against the Stanford Cardinals, who also defeated 2 quality teams in New Mexico and the Kansas Jayhawks. Lastly, the UConn Huskies earned a 7 seed in the East region, where they defeated St. Joe's and Villanova. Shabazz Napier led the Huskies with 24 and 25 points respectively in the last 2 victories. UConn will now face Iowa State in the Sweet 16 tomorrow night in New York at Madison Square Garden. Players at Northwestern University have cleared their first major hurdle in their closely watched unionization effort. With help from an official from the Labor Force Relations Board, they are determining that the players are employees and thus eligible to vote in a union election. The players' case is largely hinged on the argument that athletic scholarship constitutes a form of payment in exchange for work. That's all for sports. I'm Tyler Smith for News 22. Have a great night, Eastern.
Thanks for tuning in and watching News 22. If you want to see any of our past shows, go to our YouTube channel and search for the TV 22 channel. I'm Erin Fitzsimons.
And I'm Haley Wolverton. Have a great night, Eastern. Get me out of the seat.